Joined by one of the nicest men in television, Brian Cox. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
We're doing a project today called 4 Minutes. We're going to give you exactly 4 minutes to answer as many questions about you, your life and your career as possible.
It started already?
No, it's not started. You're okay. We're not under pressure yet. But as soon as those 4 minutes are up, we have to stop you. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right, let's go then with 4 minutes on the clock. First of all, how did you get into science?
Into science. I've always been interested in science. I don't know why. As far back as I can remember, I think it might have something to do with the Apollo moon landings, because my dad tells me that I watched them. I was born in '68, but obviously I don't remember it. But I've always been interested in science.
And how did you get from science to television?
Via being a pop star, probably. I had a brief time when I was 18 to about 21, 22 in music, then went back to do science, did my PhD, and then drifted into it. And I think it was for the erroneous assumption from someone at Radio 4 that because I'd been on top of the pops, I could probably present a science programme on Radio 4. I think that was it. It was an error, basically, on someone's part.
An error that worked out rather well, though. Yes. Have you got any regrets along the way?
No, I mean, the regret, which is the same for all kind of, I think, aging academics in a sense, is that I do far less research than I used to. And the reason for me is that I'm making television programmes and doing things like this. The reason for most academics is that they're doing admin or they're raising money or, in some sense, managing things. So that's a regret, but it's a regret that's common to everyone, not just to me.
And is there one thing in particular that annoys you about people's kind of ignorance towards science? Is there any issue in particular?
Yeah, if you're ignorant of science, it means that you don't understand why you're not living in a tree. So that annoys me.
I've got a really quick question of my own I want to ask you. I believe that everything evolved and the world started with the Big Bang. But what was here originally? What caused the Big Bang? What was here first and who made it first?
It's one of the great questions. The standard answer from Einstein's theory of general relativity is that time began at the Big Bang, space and time. So you're not even to ask the question what happened before, because there is no before, because time began. Now, admittedly, that's political. It sounds almost like a political answer. The real answer is we don't know. We don't have a theory that works properly densities of order of so-called Planck mass, which is the Big Bang. So.
Do you have a kind of personal theory?
No, because science says that we understand the evolution of the universe very well from something like a billionth of a second onwards, because we do experiments at the Large Hadron Collider. But actually, from something like 10 to the minus 36 seconds after the Big Bang, we have a reasonable theory. But we know we don't have a quantum theory of gravity, which is what we need to explain what happened at the Big Bang, or indeed possibly before.
So it's a question that's going to have to keep annoying me until we discover
until the scientists come up with some better theory.
And in a sort of percentage, what percent do you think we're there with science? I mean, obviously we'll never be at 100%, there'll always be new discoveries, but how far along that do you think we are?
I have no idea, and that's the point. Science is about exploring the unknown, and we know where the edge of the known and the unknown is, but we don't know what's in the unknown, which is why we do science.
And what's the kind of most sort of largest discovery you've had? Is there any kind of highlights of your career that you're really proud of? I'm
proud of a couple of quite esoteric papers I wrote on physics without a light Higgs boson. It looks like there may well be a light Higgs boson now. And also I led a project to install new detectors at the LHC, and it may be, although they haven't been installed yet, they may get installed. And I'll be very pleased if I'll be delighted and proud if they get installed.
If there's any kind of people out there that want to be you, want to be involved with science and want to be on TV, is there any advice you can give them to kind of kickstart their career?
First of all, go to university and do science, whatever it is, because you've got to have a degree, in my opinion, to be able to talk about science, really. And then perhaps do a PhD as well, learn about research. But do that. That's the way into the media for me, and the way into science communication is, first of all, be a scientist, or at least get your degree.
And is there any advice you've been given personally that you think's kind of really been helpful?
Stay in the university sector as well, right? Make sure that you don't just do the media. Stay in academia, stay in research if you can. Stay firmly anchored in that world as well as media.
Well, Brian, that is exactly 4 minutes. Look at that. Thank you very much. That's super. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.